Hey there, ready to take a trip to the future of creativity? We're diving into all the news from Adobe MAX, and let me tell you, they are not messing around when it comes to AI.
It really feels like a turning point. We've been talking about AI's potential in creative fields for a while now, but Adobe's announcements feel different, almost like they've skipped a chapter in the textbook.
Totally. And nothing proves that more than Firefly, their own AI engine that's about to change, well, everything. Remember when AI image generators were all the rage? Firefly's taking that to a whole new level with video.
And not just rough drafts either. We're talking high-quality, commercially usable video generated right from your text prompts. Picture this. You type in, "A lone astronaut gazes at Earth from a moon base, feeling a sense of awe and loneliness," and boom, Firefly creates it.
Okay, that's cool, but how is that even possible? Like, is it really that easy?
From what they've shown, it's shockingly intuitive. You're not just stuck with whatever the AI spits out either. You can fine-tune everything, camera angles, lighting moods, even the overall vibe, all with simple text commands.
Hold on, are you telling me anyone who can type can now be a filmmaker? What does that mean for actual filmmakers out there?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Adobe's making a huge bet on making these tools accessible to everyone. It could be incredibly empowering for aspiring creators, but there are definitely questions about how it will reshape the professional landscape.
It's almost like AI is becoming this creative collaborator, which is exciting, but also a little intimidating.
Let's shift gears a bit. What does this mean for the average person using Photoshop or Premiere Pro? Like, is this AI magic just for video, or are other apps getting an upgrade too?
Get ready to have your mind blown because Firefly isn't just a standalone thing. It's being deeply integrated across the entire Adobe Creative Cloud suite.
So those almost too good to be true Photoshop features that let you remove objects or extend images like magic, those are powered by Firefly.
You got it. Features like generative fill and generative expand are about to get even more powerful and intuitive. Imagine instantly swapping out backgrounds, adding elements that weren't in the original shot. The possibilities are kind of endless. It's like having a mind-reading creative assistant, which honestly is a little freaky but also amazing. Didn't they tease some new 3D stuff too? That feels like a whole other level of complexity.
Absolutely. Adobe's making a big push to make 3D design more approachable, especially for those of us who are more comfortable in the 2D world.
Okay, that's huge for someone like me who can barely draw a stick figure. What does that even look like? Are we talking drag and drop 3D objects in Photoshop now?
It's getting close. They're really simplifying the process, so you don't need to be a 3D modeling wizard to add depth and realism to your work. Plus, they've partnered with Substance 3D, which means you'll have access to a massive library of ready-to-use 3D assets right within Photoshop.
That's a game changer. It's like they're tearing down the walls between different creative disciplines, making it easier for anyone to experiment and blend mediums.
Oh.
Speaking of breaking down walls, we have to talk about the news that got me really pumped. Gen Studio.
Ah, yes, Adobe's solution for the age-old struggle of bridging the gap between creative and marketing teams. It's a problem they clearly understand deeply.
Believe me, I've been there. Countless projects have gone sideways because of miscommunication and siloed workflows between departments. So tell me, how does Gen Studio actually fix that?
It all comes down to using AI to streamline collaboration and automate those tedious tasks that bog down the creative process. Imagine being able to instantly generate variations of a marketing asset. Social media posts, banner ads, you name it all, while ensuring they're on brand and consistent.
Wait, so no more endless email chains with feedback from every stakeholder and their grandmother.
That's the dream, isn't it? Gen Studio aims to keep everyone on the same page from day one, from brainstorming to launch. It's about breaking down those silos and building a more collaborative, efficient workflow.
This sounds like a dream come true for anyone who's ever worked in a creative agency or marketing department. Is there anything else about Gen Studio that really stands out?
One of the most fascinating aspects is the focus on data-driven insights. It's not just about streamlining the process, it's about making sure that process is actually effective.
Okay, we'll need to dive into that a bit deeper because that sounds like a game changer.
Imagine this. AI analyzing campaign performance in real time, giving you insights and suggesting tweaks on the fly.
Wait, hold up. Are we talking about AI that can tell me if my ad campaign is a flop before I spend thousands of dollars on it?
Essentially, yes. Gen Studio can track how different assets perform, spot trends you might miss, and even recommend ways to optimize your campaigns for maximum impact.
Whoa. That's like having a whole team of marketing analysts at your fingertips without the massive budget usually required for that. This is huge for smaller businesses and independent creators who are trying to compete.
Absolutely. It levels the playing field in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
But here's what really excites me. Gen Studio isn't a standalone tool. It's deeply integrated with the entire Adobe ecosystem.
Okay, so creatives and marketers can finally stop emailing files back and forth and just collaborate in real time using the same tools and data.
You got it. It's about breaking down those silos and fostering a more collaborative, data-driven approach to creativity.
This feels like more than just a software update. It's like Adobe is building a whole creative ecosystem.
Exactly. And they're not stopping there. Let's not forget their massive global initiative to provide 30 million people with essential digital skills by 2030.
Right. We touched on that earlier, but it's worth diving into.
Yeah.
What exactly does that initiative look like? What kind of skills are we talking about here?
It's ambitious. They're investing in education and training programs that focus on AI, literacy, content creation, digital marketing, basically giving people the skills to thrive in a world where these things are becoming essential.
So it's not just about giving people access to fancy tools. It's about equipping them to actually use those tools effectively. It's
Yeah.
about making sure everyone has a chance to participate in the future of creativity, not just those who can afford it.
Exactly. And it's not just about fairness or social responsibility. It makes good business sense. A more digitally literate world means a bigger pool of potential creators, innovators, and customers.
It's a win-win. But let's be honest. All this talk about AI can be a little overwhelming, even scary sometimes for people who haven't really dipped their toes into that world yet. What would you say to someone who's feeling a little apprehensive about all of this?
I get it. Change can be intimidating, especially when it comes to technology. But here's the thing. These tools are designed to empower us, not replace us. They're here to augment our abilities, to help us push the boundaries of what's possible creatively.
It's like, remember when Instagram filters first came out and some photographers were worried they would ruin photography? But instead, they just became another tool in the creative arsenal, another way to tell stories and connect with audiences.
Exactly. It's about adapting and evolving alongside technology, not fearing it.
It's like, yeah, not fearing the robots, right? Learning to dance with them. Embrace the weird, embrace the new, and see where it takes you.
Well said. And remember, this is just the beginning. These tools are going to continue to evolve, and it's up to us to shape how they're used. It's an exciting time to be a creator, even if it's a little daunting at times.
Absolutely. As we wrap up this deep dive into the future of creativity, what's the one thing you want our listeners to take away from all of this?
Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to learn new skills. And most importantly, don't be afraid to fail. That's how we grow. That's how we innovate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So to all our listeners out there, keep exploring, keep creating, and keep on diving deep. We'll be back next time with another fascinating look at the ever-evolving world of technology and creativity. Until then, stay inspired.